Yeah, Ara told me she couldn't make it yesterday, so we got a heads up on this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. It's just Vita, Bukit Vista, core, values. Go VV, all that you guys. Okay, all right. So, since Ara's not here today, I guess I will be the secretary. Wait, Ara's first proxy is Boo Boo. After that is you. After that is me. So it goes to me. Boo Boo is not here. Okay. And let's begin. Alright, go ahead, take it away.
All
Hey
right.
Google, turn off the music.
So good morning.
Morning, Vita.
Alright, so let's take a look at the old business first at Bubu's OKR.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so Bubu's OKR. The first one is have a sharper assessment power in scanning CV and get one new high candidate to join on-site trial by September 20th. Like his own level and candidates that he is. Also, like he actually did some interview, but mostly like the interview that he did to me and Ara. So it's kind of also not helping in a
Boo
way.
Boo is unable to discern the quality of candidates during an interview. So what's his main issue, you think? Hey people, welcome back. Hey. Feel better?
Morning, Dima.
Okay.
Feel
Alright,
better?
good. It's all the new tobacco. Wait, that new.
Koi fish.
Wow! Wait, she didn't have that before. She didn't have that before, right? Zero.
Koi fish.
Space person.
Dying spaceman.
Oh, because they have a leak on their seeds.
Oh, well, that's that.
Yeah. Because I remember Interstellar.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh.
He had a leak and he was like, I'm going to be like Iron Man. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway,
we're
back
in the middle
Back to
of-
business, back to business.
Alright.
Okay. So what's Boo Boo's?
I think it's because of the quality of the question he gave. So I watched him once, the way he communicate. It was quite. So he's actually giving up the hint, the clue of the answer for the questions. I already give that feedback to him. So and it's also somehow unable to drill down about the question. So one question after another question. So not really actually taking a look at what is there in the question, the answers.
Okay. Do you think we should? What's the best method to, let's say, correct his capabilities?
Practice.
Okay. I think it's not just practice. I think it's also technique.
No, I mean like practice with either with me or Ara. So like what we had, right? The HR, the interview simulations.
Okay. 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 All right. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Also, it might be worthwhile to know if Boo Boo can decide on a part-time role after. Right? Because if we do want to invest quite a bit of training in him, then
So it's a bit
yeah, better to know that part too. Okay. All right. What I wanted to double check real quick was to see if his name is actually showing up on these cards. Let's see. Do we see Boo Boo? Oh, here it is. Okay, a little bit, right? So Boo Boo's goal will be achieved if these people get hired by September 30th. So by next week. Let's see. Okay, all right. Let's go back up to Boo Boo's OKRs. Next one.
I want to conduct at least 2 interviews a day by myself this month, starting from 23rd September. I think we should also add like kind of like what do we say about the quality of the interview itself? You know, like not just like after you're doing the interview.
Yeah, because that's
but then,
only an activity then. Okay. What should we? What kind of quality boundary do we want to put around this particular type of metric?
That he could actually pass or not pass the candidate based on the interview that is, followed by evidence of after the interview.
Mm. So really, he would be better. He would get more refined observations and finding key signals in the candidate CV or interview. So you can interview more intentionally, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we doing this? Why are we examining Google's OKRs? What sort of benefit does this have for us?
So that we can have actually someone to help us in this matter. So
That's one. That's a single time. But there's also a more recurring benefit from this.
so that we can review others' OKR.
Yeah. It becomes actually leadership and LC type work. Once you're able to look at other people's work and examine what's right or not correct about their work and offer corrective action, then that's definitely more leadership competent. Being the tracker. Tendi? Tendi! Hey, okay, how you doing? All right. Smelling good now, Tendi. Yesterday, woo! Tendi smelled like ripe fruit. Okay, all right. So, but if we want to express the quality boundary, how do we actually get it across? What sort of metric can we see that he does differently? In addition to being able to interview at one a day, what is he able to do if he's passing these metrics?
No more. I'm not sure on the
Okay.
the comment.
All right. Now remember when we talk about, let's say, no more, right? This is a hard stop.
Okay.
So a
yeah,
hard
that's-
stop is usually very hard. Usually, just think about an SLA tolerance, right? So I would say what percentage of unsure results is allowed? Because you also have to remember something about human psychology. He could be more sure, but he could be more sure and wrong too. Right? So you can say, yes, I'm sure. This is absolutely no pass. But then how do we know? So I guess even better than reducing the that's very arrogant. But okay, let me suggest perhaps his judgment becomes more aligned with the senior person's judgment. He goes first, and then let's say you would agree with his evaluation. So I would say concurrent evaluations in alignment with senior equals senior. Did I touch something?
It always happened like that
Getting
before
pumped.
also when I was still using
Getting
it.
pumped. Puts up an evaluation, and pretty much we agree with that. That means fundamentally he can help us. Ultimately, I would say if Google can have the same judgment as you on evaluating a CV, oh, it's this weird little thing. See that? The devil is that? Oh. Some malware. Go away, malware. We've been infected. Sorry, I'm gonna go kill that thing. That is. Sorry. It's a script. A script is a process that's running in the background, but I'm not sure why it's happening. Huh, okay. That's a no good. It's no good. It's back again. Get value out of the way. Sorry. Yeah, this is somewhat. Okay, whatever. Alright. Let's get back on track. Alright, so then Right. Okay, so no more hard stop. Okay, great. And then last one is achieve 10% on the employee satisfaction. Yeah, that one's gonna be hard. Yeah.
And he's actually using the only the same USS, right? Means that he doesn't distribute it again. So I'm kinda confused actually here on his action.
What he's gonna actually do, yeah?
Like he did like one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to see actually. Hi, is that Boo?
That's probably Boo Boo.
Hi,
Boo
Boo
Boo!
Boo!
We're just talking about you, Boo Boo.
Hey, sir.
Hey, you're late, Boo Boo. Late.
No, I'm not late. I cover with that. It's not answer, sir. I think that today is not no sync up today.
No, liar! I texted you. Before
Liar!
10. I even called you, but you didn't answer.
But I call you back, Vita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Boo Boo. Let's double check. Boo Boo, when are HR sync ups?
And Tuesday, 9 a.m. on BIB and Thursday,
Uh-huh.
9 a.m. too, and Saturday in 1 p.m.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Okay, Vita.
Okay. Good.
I wanna take my headset first. sir.
Yes, please do. Yeah. All right. Funny. Boo Boo's there. Okay. Liar. No room for bullshit. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these survey results. So we're essentially looking to get improvements in all these survey results, right? Okay. Boo Boo!
Yes, sir.
All right, so a few things. One, we've realized that on your OKRs, you're still unsure.
Yes, sir.
You're still, okay, Boo Boo, we're examining your OKRs right now. So we saw that on some of your OKRs, you're still unsure about the quality of each candidate. So we've noticed that there's a few things that you could probably look at to improve the quality of your interviews. The first question is, the quality of the questions you give apparently can be a little bit more insightful and explore more about the candidate's motivations. Also, you tend to lead the candidate into an answer. So if you give a question that's a yes or no question, like, hey, you like startups, right? You like Bukit Vista, right? Like you like to work in a high performance, fast moving team, right? Then it forces the candidate to give a very unnatural yes because they probably can tell that you want them to say yes. So in many ways, it would be more helpful to understand who the candidate is by unbiasing the question, by asking, like, what kind of companies do you feel you have the best performance in? What sort of teams have you shown the most performance in? What sort of, like that opens up any answer to be a response. So definitely think about the type of questions. But what I think this relates to is perhaps you haven't had enough practice in simulations with either Aura or Vita so that you can refine the quality of your questions, right? And also drilling down. If a candidate says A, you need to drill why A, right? Why did you say that? And really understand much more about the motivations and really get to the underlying truth, the bedrock truth about a candidate's ideas. Okay. Oh, also, Boo Boo, we want to ask you this question. Do you want to do part-time work for Bukit Vista after your internship?
I'm still thinking about it, sir. I can decide it right now or.
Okay, so it's probably a no for now, yeah? We'll just say it's a no for now.
Yes. No. I just decide. I can decide it, sir.
Oh,
I
okay.
still think about it. I still think about my thesis and.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I must. Apa? I must think.
Plan it
Memikirkan,
well.
sir. Karena
Okay.
because it's a crucial time for me though.
Understood. Understood. Okay, Boo Boo. Here's the other thing. We also have to decide how much extensive training we want to involve you in at this point. Okay. So if we're going to like put a lot of training into you, then it would make sense that you could still sort of work remotely or do some part-time work, screening CVs, interviewing candidates after your internship. But if you're not sure, then we'll sort of keep it at a more basic level, so that essentially it's a little bit different in terms of the commitment of training that we provide for interns, rather than more full-time employees. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, all right. So we still don't really know. We'll just say that's okay. That's unknown at the moment. So my decision is we will keep training. Let's see, at a internship pace. Okay. All right. Great. So here's some other feedback that we've also noticed. What is your quality boundary? So now you're interviewing people more consistently, but we want to see what your evidence is when you decide to pass or not pass a candidate. We want you to get better at observing the more details about a candidate and finding signals in the candidate CV that indicate quality fit or not quality fit, and perhaps also interviewing more intentionally. And it's going to be part of our exercise to get these qualities out of you so that you can understand these more. I believe there's some HR guild meetings that we've had in the past. Maybe we can maybe take a look at. Yeah?
The
So-
videos.
Yeah, the videos in the past. I think we've talked about interview techniques. Okay, and all right. So we're also talking about you pass a lot of candidates that you're not sure about. So in the future, instead of not being sure, we want you to be like you give your best hypothesis for what the candidate is going to be like. So just say, hey, look, I think this candidate is not a pass, but I would like to pass it to either Vita or Ara for a secondary interview to be sure, right? So it's not just unsure and blank, but it's unsure with a guess. And then when your guesses are more aligned to the eventual candidate result, then your guesses are correct. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, cool. All right. So, let's keep on going. All right, so back to the chair.
Alright, so Boo, right before you came, we were talking about your OKR number 3, right? So,
Yeah.
it's about employees satisfaction survey. So, I think I remember you mentioned that it's going to be the same survey, right?
Pardon, sir.
Is it going to be the same survey as what we sent earlier this month?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I would like to ask you about like when you're doing the 101 with Rizal, Dista, and Dominic. So what did you actually like? What is the insight that you are looking for from the one-on-one?
Yes. Basically, my conversation is informal conversation with them, and I'm asking about life in Bukit Vista,
Mm-hmm.
basically, and I'm asking about apa ya, petah. Gimana sih kayak petah gitulah intinya. Uh, how they happy in here, and oh yeah, I forget to Cynthia. Yes, I've make a conversation with Cynthia too, and
D-
from the four people that I interview, that's all good. They are all betah tuh apa sih bahasa Inggrisnya?
Satisfied, I guess. Huh?
Yes,
Like
they are
they like
saying for working in BV.
Alright, so do you have it somewhere documented?
Not yet.
Okay, so how do you plan to document it later on?
Maybe I will write it on paper.
Do you still remember all of the questions? The
Yes.
answers as well?
Yes. Basically, my question is same.
And the answer would be different, right, per person. So
Yes, yes. Maybe today I will write it on the paper.
okay,
Okay.
so by today we will see that you have documented all these four, yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So sir, you were
Yeah.
about to say something.
Boo Boo, I think you need to have a better practice, sir. Right? When we interview people, we take notes live as they are talking to us. And the reason why is because what? Okay, let's ask a hard question. Um, let's see. What did you have for lunch yesterday? What did you have for lunch yesterday?
What do you think?
What did you have for lunch yesterday?
Yesterday,
Yeah.
nasi padang.
What was on your nasi padang?
Egg
Okay.
and and kerupuk.
Okay, what did Rizal have for lunch?
Result yesterday is remote working, sir.
Okay. What did Dista have for lunch yesterday?
Yesterday Dista ate batagor.
Okay. What did Dominic have for lunch yesterday?
Dominic nasi padang, sir.
What did Dominic have on her nasi padang?
She's egg and kerupuk same with me.
And what else?
And vegetables.
What kind of vegetable does she have?
Pardon, sir.
What kind of vegetable does she have?
Cassava if
Okay. What did Cynthia have for lunch yesterday?
batagor, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, he has a pretty good memory, actually. All right. What about the day before? The day before yesterday, what did you guys have for lunch?
The day before is a day off, sir. My day off on Saturday.
Okay. What about the day before that?
On Saturday.
Let's say on Friday. What happened then? What
On
did everyone have for
Friday?
lunch?
On Friday we are I'm out for hosting, so I lunch for myself.
What did you have?
I ate Japanese Japanese food.
Okay. What kind of food did you have? He does have a pretty good memory. Until now.
There is
All right.
egg, sir.
my point
Egg
is-
and also tempeh and tahu.
Okay, my point is this. If you write it down, the interview results, and you don't have to try to remember. Because when we're trying to remember, sometimes you can't remember, and then you start just imagining what people said. And that is a huge opportunity for miscommunication, right? When you're talking to all the people on your team, you're trying to get the facts. You're trying to figure out what they like, what they don't like, what is the specific thing that could make their experience here at work better. Now, this is just talking about food, right? It's very simple. But if you're talking about like, okay, what is it about teamwork here that could be improved? What is it about your own performance that you would like to see gains in? How would you like, what kind of new skills would you like to learn in a year? So if we're talking about that, then I think it needs to be written down at the time you have that interview. Now, Boo Boo, where's the best place to write this down?
And notebook paper, sir.
All right, under which category?
Employee observation.
Yes, sir. All right. So put it in employee observations, and this will make it a bit easier to go to. Here are some sample questions you can use, all right? But you can also use your own questions. Your questions should be more focused on fixing these issues, right? What do you think would make you believe that things can improve here at Bukit Vista? What would make you believe that things are getting better here? What would give you greater satisfaction with your teammates? And what would give you greater satisfaction with your role? If you ask these 4 questions, then you have starting points for each person to how to improve these scores. And that would help, at least if nothing else, then we know, right, what each person says. Not just you, but also the rest of the team. Okay? So I'm going to give you very
Okay, sir.
specific directions. I want you to go and ask these 4 people again, all right? I want you to ask them, what do you think would make you believe that things can continuously improve at Bukit Vista and give it a 5, right? So basically ask how each score can become a 5 for Rizal, for Dista, for Dominic, and for Cynthia. And then that way you have information. And this information you can share with us next time at this, and we can all work on solutions together. Okay?
Okay.
All right, fantastic. Very good.
Professor,
Excellent, thank you. All right, let's talk back to Vita.
Alright, so we're done with Gugu's OKR. Shall we take a look at CEO OKR?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. All right. Okay, so I'm working on a few things right now. I don't know if we're here yet. This 2-week hiring cycle, I feel like, is. Yeah, we're not even measuring really when we're beginning. Maybe it would be good to look at, let's say, a request board and see when the request first came in. But right now, this 2-week hiring cycle, I think, is a little bit delayed. And part of it is we just don't have enough people in the pipeline. And part of it, I think, is I'm not sure, but I see we're rejecting a lot of people again. I went on LinkedIn today. I see a bunch of people in the archive section that never got even past the first stage. So once again, there's frictions there. There's also frictions on after the first interview. So people, or B, even before the first interview, people get scheduled for an interview, but they never even come. So I'm wondering why. Can't figure that out. All right, the 2-week training process, this one's getting a little bit more on track. I see everyone's putting in the activity, but we actually don't have a way of testing whether or not somebody's well trained or not, I think. So maybe we have to say, all right. And so the problem right now is this. The senior people aren't actually pulling on the junior people and putting them into roles. So if that's not happening, then it's hard for me to go back to the senior person and say, how well is this junior person doing? It's almost like, well, you have to put them into use for this to actually be happening. So we have to have that cross sort of junction. The next one, okay, so OGS hires, we got Dista one, so we got another person who is essentially, there's an empty role for there. We need 3 to 4 new hosts for squad 2, and essentially that's Dominic for 1, and that opens up, a few slots over here also. And then we also need 2 MV hires. I talked to Nun Lee yesterday, and I really think for MV, it is probably better if we get some hosts in, and then we ask existing people to learn how to do market building. The reason for that is because market builders take a lot of time to develop that skill, and they take a lot of essentially energy. And traditionally, we haven't had too much success. Actually, I think only 1 out of 4 candidates made it. And even Nun Lee's still not entirely satisfied with that result. So I think it would actually be a little bit more practical to develop a market builder from within the company than acquire somebody from outside. So that means we need to look for a replacement for probably a host or somebody who's doing community management or air support, like Rafik, for example. If he could focus more on market building, somebody would need to cover his night shift beat. And I think that's a bit more practical, same as Tendi. If somebody could cover that, then Tendi can definitely work more on market development. Okay, so that's that. The second one is this student intern thing. I think we're almost up at, we're close to 500 entries on the database for surveys. So we have almost 500 people who have actually listened and responded to one of our lectures. This is good. We sent out an email yesterday to the Estate Pay School, but I don't think anybody's responded yet. Okay, so anyhow, that one's I guess currently under development. I'm doing revenue management cycles twice a week now. Probably I'll upgrade it to 3 times a week. So pretty soon, I hope I can transfer some of my revenue management duties over on squad 1 to someone else. And this one I'm needing help with from everybody in HR too as well. I'm trying to get more hosts our more senior people to offload their PCI work so that they can start stepping up in leadership positions. And this is the latest one. I want to actually be able to beat Potato Head, number of followers, and also follower growth rate. It's not impossible right now. If you looked at our LinkedIn at the moment, we're currently almost at 1,000 new followers, which is great. I think we get about 30 to 40 new followers a day, which is really good. And here's the competition right now. So we're trying to get, because this is Bukit Vista, and I believe Potato Head is on page 2, or maybe on page 3. So Potato Head has 3,751 followers, and they acquire about 387 new followers in a month. We are at just under 1,000 followers, and we acquire 351 followers a month. So we're almost on pace with Potato Head in terms of our new follower acquisition. We're about 3 times away in terms of our number of people that are close, our total followers. Another category that we're getting almost very close to is Outpost. Outpost, I believe, is a co-working space here, and we will exceed Outpost pretty soon. And this is actually pretty good because Outpost has actually 2 physical locations, but on the digital space we're already broader than they are. Okay, all right, so that's my OKRs.